As a writer, a community activist, and a searcher, I'm someone who believes in happy ever after. And yet I still carry this angst that I haven't quite yet accomplished or achieved. I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Externally, I look like I have it all together. Yes, I teach and I have been part of some really good stuff, work-wise. But I always find that I think I've more to do. I haven't quite got there. I started out teaching personal development over 25 years ago. They say you teach best what you need to learn most. And I suppose that's true for me. For instance, I would have started off reading Man's Search for Meaning, Scott Peck, The Road Less Travelled, then further along the road less travelled, Questions on the Road Less Travelled. And I then found that I never quite knew where I stopped. I always searched and went outside. So 2020 was to be the year, draw the line in the sand, and I was going to step out of my comfort zone and practice what I preached. I started off by booking my one-woman show, Why I Haven't Met Oprah Yet. I was so excited, had a theatre booked, Listowel, the cultural capital of the world. And then, just at the end of February, early March, my father had a fall, fractured his hip, and as a result, complications set in, and he never really recovered. So sadly, he passed away. I wrote his eulogy. I called it The Father Tries, because he used to say a musical instrument won't play itself unless you pick it up and give it a go. This is a man who could play 10 different instruments. He was self-taught. He couldn't read sheet music. He was a plumber by trade. He taught everyone on the Cul-De-Sac how to swim. I remember the time he made a raft out of pallets that he had in the shed. He put it on his Bedford van and brought us all down to the River Dodder. There must have been about 10 or 12 of us sitting on this raft with sticks as paddles. We thought we were in the movies. I can still recall the glee. What my father was saying was, give it a go. Try it. Live now, not soon. I found myself then back in the same cul-de-sac I was brought in, locked in with my 81-year-old mother and all my old neighbours. And in a strange way, this pandemic has put us all into a forced cul-de-sac where we're all levelled, where aesthetics and prestige don't matter as much. I looked around me and I watched my neighbours, Lily, Betty, Tony, Molly, Kay. I watched them wrestle with change, all in their own unique way. My mother used to take out her prayer beads. She used to keep them in a little sachet, a little purse. And every day at 12:30, she turned on the television and joined in with the COVID rosary. And then at lunchtime she'd say, I feel I did some good today. I feel I'm fighting the virus as well, because prayer matters. And then Molly, our friend up the road, 88, used to walk up and down her garden. This is a woman who took up art in her 70s, still plays bridge, always has a lovely necklace and her lipstick. She said to me one day as I passed by, I think they're going to have to teach us how to walk again. If we don't move, we're going to lose it. And then we'd share a laugh. Across the road, Peggy, who has hands that are gifted. She made everyone's communion dress. There was nothing she couldn't do with her hands, and her garden looked like it could win prizes. Then I used to call into Lily. She had a fantastic mind. I remember as a kid being sent to a message to Lily, and she'd always bring me in. She made me my first cup of coffee on hot milk. I remember the skin in my mouth and it burning me. But she was telling me about the velveteen rabbit. I've never forgotten it. Lily today has 2 knee replacements and they get too hot in the summer, so she couldn't come out in the garden and talk. So she used to sit at the window and we used to talk to her. And then there was Sky News Nora. She kept us all informed of the news and the trivia. A great brain. She knew the workings of the government, nationally, globally, and she knew the trivia, the facts, the soaps. She knew who was who and what was on. She has lost her husband, her grandson, and her son in a very short time. So she knows grief intimately. And she still gets up and says yes to life. Before COVID, I was travelling at a pace of not to do, to go, to fetch, to carry, multitasking, thinking that was the way of the world. I'd barely look up and say hello to my neighbours. And missing out on the richness that they held. These made me realise the importance of connection, because what I was looking for was something even more primal than that. I was disconnected. I was in my own cul-de-sac. I was looking to belong, to be part of the bigger picture. More innately, actually. What I realised was I had had it all along in the cul-de-sac. You see, in the cul-de-sac, time stands still. Time is immortal. And they still see me as the kid I was, and I suppose I still see them as the wonderful big people who were my first role models, who informed me, whose lives, they were all interspersed matter-of-factly. We got on with our lives, rituals, rites of passage, all looking out for each other. Everyone's kids belonged to each other. The first time I fell, cursed, kissed, got lost, was heartbroken, is etched on the lines in the footpaths on the walls that I know. It's in the gardens, in the houses, in the smells, in the trees that I know so well. Today, more than ever, the elders are teaching me again the importance of connection. Because they're just getting on with getting on. They're meeting life where it's at. They're feeling the fear and doing it anyway, and that's without a book. The importance of a hello, how are you? Connecting. My father, from wherever he is now, is saying, show up. Give it a go. That shows that you care. Be present. Connect. Just do your best. In all this time, what I was looking for was right beside me. I had had it all along. What I learned in this cul-de-sac was the best lesson I could have ever got. The importance of connection. And I could put it into 3 words what the cul-de-sac teaches you. It says, how are you? And it really means it. So I invite you, the next time that you're sitting with a neighbour or a friend, to really ask how they are and enjoy the wonder and the magic that unfolds. Thank you.